Alrighty, so let's talk. Hopefully, okay, this is weird. I'm not going to be able to see it. So hopefully this is going to work. So when you get into your Avon now and you have already placed orders, there's a couple of different invoicing things. So I went out to Avon U and did a search on invoice and found this really nice little training document. Okay. Um, you are able to create customer invoices after your invoice has been created once you place your order. So if you are struggling to find your tax and to decide on what your service charge is going to be, it is recommended to have your customers pay the retail price of what they owe you, with the understanding that there would be a balance due when they get their products. So it would be your service charge and your service tax. I found that I like looking at the PDF a little easier. So I had downloaded the PDF. I'm going to just see if I can make that a little bigger. Okay. So obviously, when you put in your order, you want to make sure that the person you are selling it to is in your customer list, so that when your invoice is created, it will then have some information behind the scenes to be able to create individual slips when you pack up your orders, and then you'll know what somebody paid you and what the difference is. The biggest thing you're going to want to do is go into your web office, go into the online store to the personalization tool, and then click on this third tab, customer invoicing, put in your service charge. It's been 75 cents for a long time, but shipping has gone up. So this is pretty much kind of on you to decide how much of a service fee you want. I'm actually this year raising my service fee to $1 to help offset that cost. Then you're going to want to put your sales tax in here. Why it doesn't know what your sales tax is to be able to populate this, I still don't understand. We are due for a major upgrade to our system, so maybe some of this stuff will be addressed, or maybe I can help get it addressed later. But the easiest way to find your sales tax is go out to Google and say, hey, Google, tell me the sales tax for my zip code. And it will give you the sales tax for your specific zip code. And so you plug that in here. If you don't put it in there first, you can do it later, but we'll talk about that. So to find your existing invoices, you go under Managed Orders and click on Invoicing. And I highly recommend that you use the PDF view. If you want to print out your invoice, if you have that capability, the PDF view obviously is what you need to be able to print it. So you're going to see the products that you ordered, what their actual retail price was, and what your cost is. So the difference between those two is your profit. So if one of these things was for your customer and the other one was for you, you can either pay the full price of 15 so that the full profit goes into your business account, or you can just pay your cost, and that covers your product without having to pay yourself profit. Okay. When that invoice is ready, you can actually go ahead and invoice the customers. You click on the, right now we usually don't have any items missing from our order, but you may have, depending on the size of your order. Sometimes the warehouse doesn't get it right. So most of the time I just say no. And if there's a problem, then I find it once I print everything out. You're going to want to create all of your invoices. You'll see here that the service tax and the sales tax rate gets added to it. And so then your total is here. I really kind of like these customer invoices because it will allow you to give you some tracking and something you can put into the order to show what their total is. And then once you have this, you can then write on there how much they paid you up front and how much they still owe. And when you print all of this out, you get this nice little summary sheet so you can check off when you've delivered and received final payments. The other thing I like about this, creating these invoices, even if you don't print them out, by creating them, it puts it into a saved invoice so that you can also go back and check customer order history. So it is really good to be able to go through and do these. Plus, they are helpful if you are not collecting the full amount. Once you know what your service charge is and you know what your tax is, you can use a calculator to figure out exactly what they owe you. I know I invested in the Square because I do a lot of vendor events and I have some things that I want to make sure I cover myself on, and I can take a chip card with my Square. But it also gives me an app on my phone that allowed me to plug in my sales tax automatically. And then I just use the Square as a calculator to be able to tell people how much they owe for their order before I submit the order for them and get payment. And that way I can take it either Square, or I can do Cash App, or I can do Apple Pay, Apple Cash. There's so many ways you can get paid before you place your order. It works out. It is definitely recommended that you have a separate banking account for your Avon business. And when you start sharing your online business, you're going to want to make sure that your profit from any of your direct delivery sales is also set up. So what you want to do is go into your account and do under the Get Paid by Avon and set up the rapid pay for your online store earnings. Once you start growing a team and you want to be able to have your earnings come directly into your bank account, you can set up direct deposit that way. If you don't set up direct deposit, then all of your leadership earnings will get paid on a prepaid debit card. So hopefully that answered a few questions. I'm going to go back and watch this because that's crazy. Go back to here. So I hope this helps. And if you have any additional questions or you want me to go over something more, let me know and I will jump on live and add it into our group so that we can have it for other people. Thank you and have